said, were you intimate with Tory Lanez? And she said, what? And then it was like, no. And I was like, she's lying. At that point, I knew she's lying. There wouldn't be no reason for me to be around each other.
You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez, and the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it.
Jay-Z and them was putting it together. So I think they still harbor some energy.
Welcome back to your daily dose of scandal and glamour. Let's spill the tea on today's biggest celebrity stories. 50 Cent just came through swinging with wild receipts, and this time he's pointing fingers straight at Jay-Z. Allegedly, Jay had something to do with Tory Lanez getting stabbed up behind bars. Not once or twice, but 14 times. That's not just beef, that's a whole attempted takedown. And get this, rumor is, it was all to protect Megan Thee Stallion's image after new details popped up that might prove Tory didn't even pull the trigger in her shooting case. Yup, you heard right. Tory barely made it out alive. Man was clinging to life after a vicious attack that went down in the prison yard. At first, everyone thought it was just another fight gone wrong inside. But 50 Cent is saying, nah, this wasn't random. It was a setup. According to him, Jay-Z allegedly pulled strings from the outside to make sure Tory stayed silenced for good. Why? Because word on the street is, new evidence just dropped that casts major doubt on the whole conviction. Some sources are claiming Tory might have been railroaded, and now the whole story's twisting in a brand new direction. So if that's true, and he ain't guilty, somebody with power might have been real scared about what he could say next. And now, this stabbing feels way too calculated to be just another prison brawl. Tory was reportedly out on the yard at California Correctional Institution in Tehachapi when another inmate ran up on him and did serious damage. Multiple sources, even someone with inside access, confirmed it wasn't no light fight. This man needed hospital-level treatment after what went down. This ain't just drama, it's a war behind the scenes. And if 50's claims are even half true, we're looking at one of the wildest cover-ups in hip-hop history. Law enforcement still ain't confirmed the real reason behind the attack, but here's what's clear. Tory got done dirty. One insider says he was rushed by ambulance to a regular hospital in Bakersfield. Not even the prison clinic. That's how bad it was. It all went down at around 7:20 a.m. inside a housing unit at California Correctional Institution in Tehachapi. As soon as staff found him, they hit him with emergency medical aid and called 911 on the spot, and then things got even more insane. Tory's team dropped a statement on Instagram, and it shook the internet. They confirmed Tory got stabbed 17 times. Yes, 17. 7 to the back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, and 1 across the left side of his face. That's not just an attack, that's an attempted execution. Both his lungs collapsed, and he had to be put on a breathing machine just to stay alive. Now he's breathing on his own again, talking normal, and reportedly staying in good spirits despite being in serious pain. His team says he's thanking God for sparing him and showing love to everyone praying for him. But not everybody was feeling sympathetic. As soon as the news broke, social media went crazy. A bunch of folks were cold about it, saying Tory had it coming for allegedly shooting Megan Thee Stallion. One user straight up posted, "People feeling sorry for Tory Lanez is so funny. Just know that him being stabbed does not compare to him shooting Megan."
About it, yes, this Tory shot me. You shot me. And you got your publicists and your people going to these blogs lying and shit. Stop lying. Why lie?
She could have died that night. I don't feel bad at all for that creature. But 50 Cent? He's calling cap on that whole narrative. He's saying this wasn't some random prison beef. It was a targeted hit. And if he's right, then somebody powerful might have just tried to finish Tory off before the truth could leak out. If you ask 50 Cent, this wasn't some random act. It was a straight-up hit job, no question about it. And the guy who went after Tory, he ain't no rookie. Reports say the alleged attacker is Santino Casio, a dangerous dude already locked up for one of the worst crimes imaginable. This man ain't just doing time, he's doing life, with a shot at parole, but he's got nothing to lose and a whole lot of time to kill. Casio is 42, and his rap sheet, it's wild. He's been in the system since way back in 2004, doing life for second-degree murder, attempted first-degree, and using a deadly weapon. Oh, and it doesn't stop there. He was also charged with causing violent bodily harm, the kind that makes your stomach turn. This ain't some lightweight inmate. They put a real monster in the same yard as Tory Lanez. Now let that sink in. You really think it's coincidence this dude was the one who ran up on Tory? Because a guy like Casio, all it takes is the right offer, a favor, a payout to his people on the outside, something that makes it worth his while. And boom, you've got a willing hitman behind bars. And somehow, despite getting stabbed 17 times, Tory survived, barely. It was sloppy, and the hit didn't go as planned. But here's the real question. Why now? The trial's over. Tory's appeal already got shut down. So what's the point of trying to erase him now? Allegedly, it's about protecting Megan Thee Stallion. Word is, some new info just popped up that could flip the whole case upside down and drag Megan through the mud all over again. And if that truth comes out, somebody up top might be real desperate to keep it buried, even if it means trying to silence Tory permanently. Let's rewind real quick to the night of that infamous shooting. There were 4 people in the SUV: Tory, Megan, Megan's best friend Kelsey, and a bodyguard. But when the trial hit the fan, that bodyguard vanished, just dipped. No testimony, no trace, like a ghost. But now, dude finally resurfaced, and what he's saying is flipping this whole case upside down. Tory's team is now claiming that the bodyguard, Bradley James, heard Kelsey straight up confess to firing the gun that hit Megan. According to the reports, James overheard Kelsey say she pulled the trigger not once, not twice, but 3 times. And get this, he says Tory tried to stop her by grabbing her arm mid-shoot, which made the gun accidentally go off 2 more times. This ain't even the first time someone hinted at this version of the story. During the actual trial, an eyewitness named Sean Kelly testified that he saw 2 women fighting before the shots rang out. That detail got brushed off back then, but now it matches this new info perfectly. The story's starting to line up, and it's not looking good for the original narrative. And now more people are speaking up about how the whole trial was tilted against Tory from day one. Even political analyst Gianno Caldwell, who contributes to the New York Post, came forward and blamed former LA County DA George Gascon, saying Tory was railroaded and unfairly charged, especially over those gun enhancement charges that never should have been added. So now the big question is, if this bodyguard's been holding back the truth this whole time, why now? And how deep does this go? 'Cause if what he's saying is real, then this whole trial might have been a setup, and Tory could have taken the fall for something he didn't even do. The narrative around Tory Lanez is getting wild, and now even political strategist Diana Blayan is chiming in, comparing Tory's situation to the Menendez brothers. You know, the ones who admitted to killing their parents but could be walking free soon. Diana's not playing. She's backing the conspiracy talk and pointing out that no forensic evidence tied Tory to the weapon that shot Megan. In fact, lab results reportedly showed only a 0.001% chance his DNA was even on that gun. Now tell me that don't sound shady. And right when this new evidence starts making waves, boom, Tory gets stabbed up in prison. Coincidence? 50 Cent ain't buying that for a second. He's out here saying this whole thing smells like a setup, like someone didn't want this new info hitting the public. He's suggesting the stabbing was intentional, like a warning, or worse, a failed attempt to shut Tory up for good.
2 days after that, I get a call from Rock Nation that says, yo, we heard you're gonna make a statement about what happened, and it'd be in your best interest if you don't make that statement.
Now let's clear one thing up. Ain't nobody saying Megan made this all up. Let's be real. She was walking away from the car when the shots rang out. She didn't see who pulled the trigger with her own eyes. So if she heard shouting and felt pain, it makes sense that she might assume it was Tory, especially since they were arguing right before the shots. Plus, her best friend Kelsey was in the mix, and they were tight like sisters. Megan probably never imagined that her own girl could be the one who turned and pulled the trigger. So yeah, her reaction was emotional, but that doesn't mean the full truth ever got told in that courtroom. Now with this new wave of receipts coming in, folks are starting to wonder, was Tory actually set up to take the fall while the real story got buried deep? Let's be honest. Why would Megan ever suspect her own best friend of doing something that wild? It's not like they were strangers. They were close, ride or die tight. So of course Megan didn't jump to that conclusion. And here's something a lot of people forget. Megan never actually filed a lawsuit against Tory for shooting her. The charges? They came from the state, not her. Right after the shooting, Megan wasn't even pointing fingers. When the cops pulled up, she told them she stepped on broken glass. No names, no accusations, just silence. And that silence lasted for days. But then everything flipped when Tory and his crew allegedly started spreading lies about her. That was the last straw. That's when Megan snapped and went live on Instagram, calling Tory out and finally saying what she'd been holding in. She was done being quiet. Her message was simple. Why lie? She felt betrayed, embarrassed, and tired of being painted as the villain. From there, the situation spiraled. Rumors started flying that Jay-Z allegedly got involved, pulling strings to protect Megan, since she signed to Roc Nation. Behind the scenes, word is, things got dark. Tory later claimed that someone from Roc Nation straight up threatened him, told him to shut his mouth and not speak on the case at all. So now we've got Megan trying to protect someone, Tory saying he was being silenced by power players, and a whole industry quietly watching it all unfold. If Jay really stepped in to tilt the case, was it about justice or was it about protecting the brand? Something ain't adding up, and the deeper we dig, the messier this gets. But Tory wasn't about to sit back and stay silent. He came out swinging, denying that he ever shot Megan, and then dropped his own version of what really went down that night. According to him, things popped off when Kelsey, who he was allegedly dating, found out he had been secretly hooking up with Megan too. And here's the twist. Tory says Megan already knew about him and Kelsey the whole time. So when Kelsey found out the truth, it wasn't Tory she was mad at, it was Megan. That's when the whole vibe in the car flipped. A major argument exploded between them, and things spiraled out of control, ending with Megan getting shot. But that version, it had Megan's fans going crazy. The internet lit up with people arguing non-stop over who was telling the truth.
We had to come kill the streets for 5 minutes. You said what?
I gotta switch out the music, the PD just came right.
Okay. Tori, don't get my phone wet.
Lines got drawn, sides were picked, and it was war on social media. Tory even tweeted something wild. Good D had me messing with 2 best friends, and I got caught. That's what I apologized for. Sick how you spun it though. That tweet hit like a grenade. Folks were confused. Was he admitting something or dodging blame? Meanwhile, Megan had already gone public, saying it was Tory who shot her. And once she said it, things blew up fast. Tory got arrested but didn't stay behind bars long. He was released on $350,000 bail and hit with a bunch of conditions. One of them, he couldn't speak at all about the case in public. Another, he had to stay far away from Megan. No calls, no texts, no contact. So now, you've got 2 totally different stories, emotions flying, and a whole lot of drama playing out in front of the world. And with every new twist, it got harder and harder to know who was really telling the truth. Before the trial even kicked off, Megan was already under fire, and it was vicious. The backlash hit her like a wave. Folks flipped on her fast, calling her a liar and accusing her of trying to destroy Tory's career. And this wasn't just a handful of internet trolls. It was non-stop, coming from all over, loud and ruthless. Social media dragged her. Some fans who used to ride for her suddenly switched sides. Even people inside the industry weren't subtle. Big names like Drake threw shade in their lyrics, hinting that Megan might have made the whole thing up. The whispers turned into noise, and that noise turned into public humiliation. Megan later opened up about it in a heartbreaking interview, saying, "In some kind of way, I became the villain. I don't know if people don't take it seriously because I seem strong. I'm trying every day to get through it and be good. I feel so bad because I don't feel like anybody's taking me seriously. But I don't want them to see me cry. I don't want them to feel like, oh, I got you. Oh, I'm breaking you." That right there, that's pain behind the spotlight. She was holding back tears just to keep from giving her haters any satisfaction. But inside, she was clearly struggling. And Megan didn't hold back when it came to what she wanted to see happen to Tory. She made it crystal clear. "I want him to go to jail. I want him to go under the jail." Yeah, under the jail. That's how deep the hurt ran. This wasn't just legal for her. It was personal, emotional, and public. The world was watching, judging, mocking, and Megan was just trying to survive the storm with her head still high. By the time the trial kicked off in December 2022, things were already spiraling out of control. And even though there weren't any cameras in the courtroom, the drama, it felt like a full-blown soap opera. Messy, raw, and out for blood. Tory's legal team didn't hold back for a second. They came for Megan hard, throwing everything they had at her. And let's be real, some of it was downright dirty. They weren't just trying to prove Tory's innocence. They were trying to tear Megan down in front of the world. Her private life got dragged through the mud. They painted her as bitter, jealous, and unstable, pushing the idea that she was mad about Tory and Kelsey messing around. The defense twisted it to make Megan look like the one who blew everything up that night. They even went low with claims about her being involved with multiple men in the industry, trying to shame her, trash her image, and break her down piece by piece. And the worst part? Even though it wasn't televised, details kept leaking, so the public still got their front row seat to every scandalous turn. Tory's team thought they had an ace up their sleeve when they brought Kelsey in to testify. The two girls had once been like sisters, inseparable, but after that night, everything between them fell apart. When Kelsey took the stand, jaws dropped. She revealed something surprising. Kylie Jenner had only invited her and Megan to that party. Tory wasn't even on the original guest list. It was Megan who invited him. Now, why would Megan bring Tory if she knew Kelsey was into him too? That question added even more smoke to the fire, making the story even messier than it already was. Every testimony twisted the narrative further, and by now, nobody knew what to believe anymore. So after all the chaos, Tory Lanez was found guilty, and that's when things exploded even more. People didn't just take the verdict and move on. Instead, Jay-Z's name got dragged straight into the fire. Accusations started flying that he had a secret role in the conviction, and it was Tory's own father who lit that fuse. Right outside the courthouse, Tory's dad went on a full-blown rant, and he didn't hold back. He claimed Jay-Z and Roc Nation used their industry power to manipulate the legal system, saying the whole trial was tilted from the start. But it didn't stop there. He straight up accused Jay-Z of bribing the jury to make sure Tory got found guilty. And if that wasn't enough, Tory's dad made an even wilder claim. He said Jay-Z had a direct hand in flipping a key witness, Sean Kelly. According to him, Sean was originally saying things that helped Tory's case. But then, after allegedly meeting with some folks connected to Roc Nation, Sean's whole vibe changed. Suddenly, his testimony didn't sound the same, and Tory's dad was convinced something shady went down. He believes Sean was either pressured or paid off, and that his switch-up was no coincidence. It was a bold accusation that took the already messy trial and pushed it into full-blown conspiracy territory. Whether you believe it or not, one thing's clear. This case was never just about what happened that night in the car. The moment Jay-Z's name got pulled into it, this story became way bigger than Tory and Megan. It became a battle between power, influence, and the truth, and who really controls the game behind the scenes. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay in the loop with all the latest tea. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and I'll catch you in the next video.